There's people in this industry trying to gatekeep this information. I'm giving it out for free. It's a 3-hour course. If you don't get value within the first 30 minutes, if you're a small business owner, you'll know where you need to go to get funding for your business, to get at least $50,000 for your business, and how to do it. Within the first 30 to 45 minutes, you'll know. And if you're not a small business owner, but you want to get in this space to make money, you'll get that same information and how to get money within the first 30 to 45 minutes of watching this. Check out the video. Have you ever heard the saying, what you don't know can hurt you, or ignorance is bliss? That's absolutely false in the case of a small business owner here in the US. What you don't know about funding your business or other people's businesses can absolutely hurt you. If you're a small business owner, then you already experienced this, and you know that you need money to grow. You need money to scale your business. Cash flow is important, and using other people's money to build your business is important. In the course, it's a 3-hour course. I'm gonna walk you through step by step how you can leverage your credit to get money even as a startup. So even if you only have an idea right now, I'll show you how to set up the business. I'll show you what your credit profile needs to look like. I'm gonna show you what lenders to go to, why you wanna go to them, the order in which you go to them, what bureaus they pull from. I'm also gonna give you some credit unions. And there is also a bunch of CDFIs, hard money loans. And if you want to be a small business owner but not really sure what you want to do, this information is still beneficial, because you'll need it to get you some startup money anyway. Also, you can start off in this industry helping other business owners get money and get yourself paid. Let's say typically people charge 10 to 15% to get funding, to fund small business owners with credit card stacking. Let's just say just that one product, credit card stacking. If I can get you $100,000 in working capital just with credit cards, and you pay me 10 points, that's $10,000. How many deals every single month do you need for that to be worth it for you? How many deals every single month? Even if it was, let's say the average is about $50,000, that's a small deal. That's average. If I can get you $50,000 in credit cards, but that'll help you start up your business, and I can make 10 points on it, that's $5,000. How many people do you know that want to start a business? Or how many people you know that want to buy a business, or like if they want to buy a salon or a tire shop or something like that, where they can use that money to put it down as, their 10 to 20% down and finance the rest through the SBA, or work out seller financing. There's a bunch of different ways where you can make money. You can also make money by coaching, by walking people through the process. I'm going to show you if you're a small business owner already, how you can use this information for your own business. But if you're not a business owner already and you want to get into this space, I'm going to walk you through step by step how you can use this method to make yourself some money. And not only that, I'm not just giving you credit card stacking. I'm going to show you how you can make money with merchant cash advances. Merchant cash advance is basically like a payday loan, but for businesses. And I'm going to show you how you can fund a business today and get paid on that same deal tomorrow in your account tomorrow. And it's the same system. You get the same amount of points, about the same amount of points, between 8 and 15 points per deal. $100,000 deal, you fund them $100,000, you get $10,000 the next day. Equipment loans. I can walk you through equipment loans. I'm going to walk you through invoice factoring. I'm going to walk you through invoice factoring. All the information is inside. Within the first 30 minutes of this video, you'll get value from just credit card stacking alone. So if you only want to focus on credit card stacking, or if you're a small business owner, or if you're a startup, all you need to do is watch that first 30 minutes and you're going to get a ton of value from this. Also, in the description, go up to the description now. I'm going to give you my application where your clients would go to fill out an application. I'm going to give you my non-disclosure agreement and success fee agreement. And that's for your clients to sign and say, I'm going to pay you this amount of money if you get a percentage of that money. I'm going to pay you a percentage of the money that you can get me. Is basically what this, and so it's a success fee and a non-circumvent, which means they can't go around you. They can't cut you out of a deal. And so you get them to sign that, you get an application, you get some other information, and you work your deal. I'm going to walk you through all of that. I also have credit repair books in there that I use as lead funnels. I also have business credit repair book that I use as business credit builder books that I use for lead funnels. There's a bunch of different information in the description. All the links, and make sure you, because that's how this video is going to be funded, is through that. Also, if you want to look at some other courses like marketing and things like that, I want you to go to unmatrix.io, where you'll learn about marketing on Twitter, marketing on Instagram, using ChatGPT and things like that, different prompts you can use. There's a ton of information there. Unmatrix.io. Check it out. Check out the course. Like I said, the first 30 minutes, give it 30 minutes. If you ain't get no value, fuck everything else. If you don't get value in the first 30 minutes of this course, don't even watch the rest. Give it 30 minutes. All right, so I want to get started with with credit card stacking. So how to get your clients $150,000 at 0% with credit card stacking. All right, so let's dive in. So first, well, my name is Amir Towns. My company is Towns Lending, Towns Advisory Group. I've been in business since 2018. We offer unsecured cash advances, equipment loans up to 84 months, lines of credit term loans, invoice factoring, SBA, and credit card stacking. Why am I doing this? So I actually left this in from a live I did on LinkedIn. This is actually a presentation for credit card stacking to like a audience that I have on LinkedIn. It was a live event. But so why am I doing this? Basically, I want to give you guys the information, build a community, and just give the information out for free. There was a interview done on me years ago, maybe 2019, from when I did a $20,000 deal or $20-something thousand deal in one from one client. And you know, people seem to reach out to me from that interview. So most businesses need money to grow. We sell the sexiest product there is. We sell, you know, America was built on, you know, small businesses. Most people are employed by a small business. And so, yeah, they need money to grow. What we'll cover today is setting up your business for funding, your business, and how to tell your clients to set up their business if you're dealing with startups. What your credit report needs to look like. When I say I mean your client. Product matching, top lending institutions, what they look for, personal and business funding sequences, inquiry control. That's what we'll cover for credit card stacking. But we'll cover a lot more different funding options like SBA. We'll cover invoice factoring. We'll cover lines of credit. We'll cover cash advances, and I'll also give you a few sources, some lenders that you can look for. So the setup, you want to make sure you have a professional email. Not mine was amirtowns@gmail.com or amir.funding@gmail.com before I got info@townslending.com and amir@townslending.com. So you want to make sure you have that. You also want to make sure you have, but I honestly, I didn't start out that way in this business. Like I said, I had the amir.funding@gmail.com. You want to make sure you have a business address. So what I would recommend you do is just simply go to wyomingagents.com, and register your business in Wyoming. Get you a registered agent, pay $150, get you a free IN, free EIN through irs.gov. Scroll to the bottom and apply for that. But just make sure you're applying as like a business management company or business consulting company. And I'll dive more into that later. And it's important that you do that instead of like, oh, I offer funding or I'm an investor. You're not, because you don't want to be looked at like that. If you were to go and apply for funding, they're going to give you trouble. Also, when you're picking out a name, this is for your business personally. When you're picking out a name for your business, use a generic name. Think about like Starbucks. Starbucks has nothing to do with coffee. Apple has nothing to do with phones or computers. Walmart was just Sam Walton. Like, he just took Wall and then add Mart on there. Or Sam's Club, Sam Walton. Like, it was a generic name, and then he made it what it was, because you have to consider your NAICS code, NAICS. And it's basically how they classify your business with it. So if you're a trucking company and when your NAICS code is for a trucking company, and then you go to apply for funding as a consultant company, they're going to be like, what? And that'll get you not approved right there. Or if you're a funding company, they're going to look at you like, yeah, high risk. Even like real estate investing, you don't want to put real estate in Amir's real estate investment or Amir's capital. And that's why I went from Towns Lending to Towns Advisory Group. That was the DBA. That was the change. So yeah, be careful with how you name your company. Also, make sure your clients know, if you're dealing with startups, make sure your clients know that you have the same information. So set up a business phone, use a Wyoming agent for the business address, because they'll take it. You can use their address. You can also, they'll also take care of like if you get mail and things like that. Then go on listyourself.com and put all of that information into listyourself.com. And that way, all of your information is the same all over the internet. You don't have your cell phone number on one page and then your business phone number on the other page, and then your home address on one page, and then your business. Everything is, the same, and it looks good. So fundable credit. So typically, you actually want less than 15% or less of credit utilization. If you're anywhere close to 30 years, it's just hard for you to get an approval. But for those top funding amounts, you want to be like less than 5%, because you want to show them that you don't carry high balances. And it's just less of a risk, because you're not using as much credit as you have out there. And so it's just less of a risk. This guy doesn't need money. He just wants money. They don't want to lend to people who need money. And so make sure you have 100% on-time payment history. Well, your client, 0% unless you're, like I said, first start out with you, and then do this for your client. Your clients. Hopefully you can get multiple per month. 0% zero derogatory marks, 4 years or more credit history. That's important, but obviously you can't control that unless you have like some authorized user accounts, or you backdate your rent. But if you're 20 years old, you're 20 years old. So you can help it by just having some authorized user accounts on your profile. And I can show you how to get those. 12 positive accounts, I don't know why I wrote it like that. Ideally, you want 21 and then under 6 inquiries. So the 3 C's of funding, getting business credit. You either need cash, which means a cash producing business, a revenue producing business. Like let's say your business makes $20,000 a month. You can get a cash advance, or you need credit. Your personal credit matters, so you need at least a 680 or above. I would say at least a 720 or above, just because it opens you up to more options, like Chase and more some of those more prime rate banks. As far as collateral could be real estate, it could be equipment, it could be contracts or invoices. So let's say you have a commercial construction company, you probably have a bunch of equipment, maybe you have some real estate, but you'll definitely have contracts from like your commercial business, like business owners and things like that, or government contracts. And so you can say, hey, I have 100,000 in contracts. Will you guys give me an 80% advance on these contracts? And we'll say yes, up to an 80% advance. That's called invoice factoring. I'll go into more of that later. But yeah, and then the more of these you have, the better off you'll be. So if you have great credit, some contracts, some real estate, and you have a high income producing business, then you're just in a better position. But if you're a startup, then you just need great credit. Or if you're not a startup, but you don't have collateral, but you have a cash producing business, then you can still get a merchant cash advance. So product matching. I'm only getting into this because, like I said, the credit card stacking program. It's just like when you first started out working, nobody wanted to give you a job because you didn't have any experience. And so you had to keep applying, or maybe you had to volunteer somewhere. It's just, even with credit, when you first starting out credit, you need an authorized user, or you need to have a secured credit card or something like that, or they give you a very small limit. Banks feel comfortable giving you $30,000 in business credit if another bank has already given it to you, or it's on your personal credit already. So they want to see it on your personal credit. My suggestion is start out by just getting a authorized user account, 1 or 2 authorized user account on your personal credit with high limits that's aged 05, 2013, something like that, with a $20, $30, $40,000 limit. I've seen Amex have, a $70,000 limit on it. So here's some top lending institutions: Navy Federal Credit Union, Banner Federal Credit Union, Truist. They have 0% interest cards, 3 no-doc products with 1 inquiry. And they pull from Equifax. PSECU, 3 no-doc products, 1 inquiry, and they pull from Experian. Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, NASA, Cadence, M&T, Envision. You have your Chase, Citizens Bank, Alliant. And keep in mind, you need at least a 680 to even be looked at, Like I said, I recommend getting at least a 720, especially if there's no reason why you can't have a 720, especially if you don't have any derogatory marks on your credit. You can easily get the credit that you need. So 2 years in business, if a company has 2 years in business, these are some no-doc loans that they can have. So Wells Fargo, up to 100,000 no docs, and you can apply online. But you are going to have to personally guarantee that loan. For U.S. Bank, you can do up to 50,000 no docs, and you don't have to personally guarantee, and that can be done online. Key Bank, 50,000 no doc. You should go into a branch. Huntington, 50,000 no doc, go into a branch. With any of these, or with any type of banking situation, you want to have a relationship manager for yourself and for your clients. So you can go in there and say, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. here's my company, here's something, here's what we work with a lot of small business owners, and typically they have less than 15% utilization rates. Typically they have over a 720 credit score, and they've been in business for a while. Some of them are startups, but they have great credit. Can I send them to you, and you help them get a business credit card? You want to build that relationship with them, because maybe if they apply online, they get an $8,000 approval, but when they go through a relationship manager, they may get a $20,000, $30,000 approval. And that's the key to the game, is making sure your relationships are strong in this business and you connect yourself. And the only way there's two ways to do it. You can go in and you can shake hands and have that conversation. You can tell some of them, hey, I'm going to charge them 8 points, and they won't care. Or some of them, they just won't work with you. But that's your discretion. Or you can just tell them, hey, I charge them. No, I would be honest. Just tell them hey, I'm going to charge them 10 points, success fee. And because I'm going to be doing a lot for them, not just funding, not just, working with you guys. And yeah, or you can get on LinkedIn. I have 16,000 connections on LinkedIn. Some of them are banks, and you connect yourself. And the reason I'm not going to give bankers up for credit card stacking is because, let's say this video gets 1 million views, best case scenario. And then I have one banker that's getting 1,000 people reach out to him. It's going to slow the process down for everybody. And so connect yourself with people locally. Just go on LinkedIn and type in relationship manager or business banking, and then whatever bank. And you'll connect with those people and tell them what you're trying to do. Or it doesn't even have to be your area. If you find a bank or credit union that you want to work with, that you can't just drive to, reach out to them. But yeah, so if you have someone that's 2 years in business, here's some options for them as well that'll be quicker for that, for a larger funding amount. Wells Fargo actually has a $150,000 line of credit, but I think you may have to have some docs for it. Also, Amex, they have a up to $250,000 business line of credit, but you have to be in business for at least 6 months, and they will want to see that you're making money, and and you have at least a 680 credit score. So here's the personal funding sequence. Yeah, and this is starting out with Experian. This is just giving you a scenario on what this should look like. So you would go to PSECU, get a credit card and a line of credit. That's $20,000. That's 2 accounts using 1 inquiry. Chase, you can apply for 2 cards within 30 days, and you may be able to be approved for 2 Chase cards on the same day. Many have. They will use 1 inquiry for both applications. Also, make sure you're not breaking the Chase 524 rule. According to Chase, the 524 rule, if you open at least 5 cards in the last 24 months, you will likely not be eligible to open a new Chase credit card. So that's why it's important that you go to Chase. Like, Chase is one of your first stops. And then from there, you can go to your cities. You can go to your credit unions. You can go to Amex. So yeah, and then you want to go to First Tech Federal Credit Union. They offer a credit card and a line of credit. That's 2 accounts using 1 inquiry. And you want to use these places that'll let you get multiple accounts with 1 inquiries, because then you can maximize that inquiry. American Express, you may apply for 2 cards in 1 day, as long as one is a charge card and one is a credit card. If If both applications are credit cards, you must wait at least 5 days. Most places say wait 6 days. You cannot be approved for more than 2 cards in 90 days. So right there is 7 to 9 accounts with 5 inquiries. Your personal funding sequence for TransUnion. And now this, like I said, this is just on the personal side. You're going to take the client to Bank of America and you can apply for 2 credit cards within the same month or even the same day. Apple Credit Union, no hard pull if you don't get approved. Barclays, and then Navy Federal Credit Union, obviously if that's an option for them. And then you have Lightstream for a personal loan option. That's 5 to 6 accounts, 5 to 6 inquiries. Equifax, most of your credit unions are going to go with going to be pulled on Equifax. So I want you to go to americanconsumercouncil.org and sign up with them, because a lot of the credit unions that you won't typically be able to get into, you can get into just by being associated with American Consumer Council. And make sure your clients know that as well. PenFed is open, so anyone can get into PenFed. Digital Federal Credit Union, so sign up with them. You can also sign up with NIH. And like I said, go through American Consumer Council. You can apply for multiple products and get 1 inquiry, no hard pull on business cards. Your PenFed, you can do 2 products in 1 day, so you can get a personal loan and like a credit card as well. SECU of Maryland, you join their foundation without a reference. They use FICO 5 scoring model, so you can get 3 products with 1 inquiry within a 30-day window. The business must be in Maryland if you want to apply for business credit cards. But on the personal side, you can join from anywhere in the United States. But if you're outside of Maryland, you just file as a foreign entity. So basically, when I was telling you to have like a registered agent in Wyoming, you would basically do the same thing for Maryland. So find somewhere in Baltimore that has a registered agent, file there, and you'll be able to get their business products as well. And so you can get, let's say, a personal credit card, a personal loan, and then file as a foreign entity, and then get their business credit card or something like that. That's 7 to 8 accounts and only 4 inquiries. So if you follow this sequence, that right there alone is $150,000 on the personal side. And then you basically do the same thing on the business side. And then the trick is you can delete all your once you get the business funding for you can delete the business inquiries because they're supposed to go on the business. Here's some bonus personal. So Alliant Credit Union, you can open an account with them with at least $5 and apply for the Visa Platinum credit card. They have a 0% introductory rate for 12 months, and they're known for generous credit lines. Flagstar Bank, that's an Elon Power credit card that generally issues high limits. They go up to 12 months, 0% introductory rate. 20 months. So business funding, you're gonna, for your Experian Inquiry dominant credit lines, PayPal Business Cashback MasterCard, and then you have your Chase Business Inc. You want to do with Chase, you definitely want to have a relationship manager, a business relationship manager submit the application. It's different from just going online. Even the application is different. So make sure you have a business relationship manager. I've seen the difference could be you getting a $20,000 approval online, but then when you talk to a business relationship manager, they're actually approved for $70,000. So go through a business relationship manager. Have a business relationship manager that your clients can talk to as well. Here is American Express. I kind of talked to you about American Express earlier, but American Express will allow you to acquire a maximum of 10 charge cards and 4 credit cards, business or personal. They have a 1 in 5 rule, which restricts the approval of credit cards to just one every 5 days. If you're interested in obtaining multiple American Express cards, it's advised to delay at least 6 days between applications to prevent the second one from being denied. It's possible to apply for 2 Amex cards the same day as long as one is a charge card and one is a revolving credit card. Otherwise, you're just gonna get denied. Keep the request for Amex under 35,000. Here's some more Amex cards. Take a screenshot of that. So for your business credit, your Equifax inquiry dominant lines of credit, you're going to go through Flagstar Bank, Banner ICU, US Bank, Comerica, First Financial, Northwest Bank. And then TransUnion, PayPal business credit card, Barclays, Univest. And Univest, they have a 20-month 0% interest plus the 3% cash back on a business cash preferred card. When you personally guarantee business credit card, the line of credit will still only show on the business side, with the exception of Capital One and Discover. With proper inquiry control, you can apply at multiple banks while keeping your inquiries under control, pure credit bureau. So just like how I broke it down, and that's why I broke it down by bureau, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. You want everything to be separated, so you'll be able to apply to 3 different places, but only show one inquiry on each bureau. Here's a list of banks with 0% intro rates. You have your Chases, you have Bank of America, you have PNC, Wells Fargo, Ameris, Univest, M&T, Regions, and this isn't even half. This is just a drop in the bucket. Be sure to, I keep stressing this because this is how you maximize your approvals. If you're just applying and everybody is pulling from Experian, and you'll eventually end up getting denied because it'll look like you need money, and banks don't want to give you money when you need money. And so I wanted to quickly go through how to fill out an application. So before you fill out an application, you should make sure you double check the work. Before you submit the application, make sure you double check the work for mistakes. Making sure your address, your date of birth, social, EIN, full name, business name, everything needs to be accurate. If something doesn't match up, there's a high risk of not getting approved. Also, make sure everything is accurate with your NAICS code. For example, if your bank account is registered as a trucking company, I went over this earlier, but you're applying as a consulting company, you're not going to get approved. And then also, it's important to avoid high risk codes. And so you want to, like I said, my example earlier was with the real estate company. Let's say you're in real estate investing. You don't want to have a company that says Amir's Capital Investments or Amir's Real Estate Investments. Just have a generic name, and then also your NAICS code needs to be like property management or something like that. You don't want to have investment. Or with us, when you file your business for this business, for if you decide to be a broker, you don't want to say a broker or I fund businesses or anything. You don't want to be that. You want to be a business management. You want to be business consulting, sales consult, something like that. So if you're doing your applications to a relationship manager, there'll be a field asking you what limit you're requesting to get approved for and what estimated monthly spend will be on the card. They want people that's going to use the card, and but they also want people that's going to be able to pay the balance down. So keep that in mind when you're applying. And you can go to NAICS.com and to kind of see what your average, what your NAICS code is, and also see what other companies are doing in that industry, just to kind of get an average of what's possible for you. That way you're not naming some crazy numbers, because when you apply, you're gonna apply when you apply for business credit, like let's say with Chase, you're applying right now, you're gonna go off of projected income, what you think you're gonna make, not what if you're start out, obviously you haven't made any money, so you're gonna be going off of projected income. Also, when you apply, never apply as self-employed. It appears risky if you're self-employed. You want to put employed. You're employed by your company. If you're self-employed, then you're the only one. You're depending on yourself to make the money. But when you're employed, you have multiple employees, and when you're employed, you just work for a company. And so it's just less risk. It's more of a guaranteed check. So yeah, don't apply as self-employed. Here is 20 no PG lenders. I'll give you time to take a look at that. But we have Divvy, Capital on Tap, Torpago, Sam's Club. You have Clearbank, Hatch, Burst, Ram, Square, Stripe, Mercury, American Express, Stripe, Jeeves, Cape Clear, Brex. Here are 11 microloan: Kiva, Aeon, Grameen, Opportunity Fund, the Hebrew Free Loan Society, Local and Regional Economic Development Program. So I believe that's like a CDFI. A CDFI is like a Community Development Fund. I don't really go over that, but I know about CDFIs if you want access to a list of CDFIs. And so basically what a CDFI is they offer funding for underserved communities. So if you're a Black, Latino, or a woman, they basically help you get funding even if you don't have the best credit. A lot of the times you can have less than perfect credit. You have like a 580 or something like that, depending on which CDFI you go to, and they'll still be able to get you funding, whether it's 250,000, 500,000. I've seen some of them go, even more than that. And so they serve underserved communities and underserved areas. So let's say you have a business that employs people within a specific area, urban communities. You can get funding in that community and have less than perfect credit. They also offer funding for properties as well, so acquisition, business loans, and things like that. So check out a CDFI and check the description for more information on that. Here's some business auto lenders. Ally Financial offers EIN only, of course, Mercedes, Ford, GM, Chrysler, EIN only. Then you have your PNCs, Bank of America's, Truist, Navy Federal, Crest, Become. Here's a list of some hard money lenders. You have your New Silver Lending, Lending One, Lima One Capital, Asset Based Lending, We Lend, Do Hard Money, Bridgewell, Rehab, Financial Group, Fund That Flip. We're done with the credit card stacking. So I gave you some lenders. I gave you how to apply, and your how to stretch out your inquiries and things like that, how to set up the business. how you want your client's business to be set up, the credit that's going to be needed, things like that. I went over inquiry control and things like that, and the no PG lenders as well. So we're gonna move over into merchant cash advance. Like I said, I already went through your no PGs, some micro loans. I went through some auto lenders, because you can help clients this way as well, and you can just, if you want, you can get a flat fee, like, hey, I can show you how to get, an auto lender into, and there's multiple different ways you can make money in this business. But next and this is for, obviously, real estate. I don't do real estate, but because it's just a longer process. And so I kind of stayed away from it, but it's definitely obviously a bag in real estate as well. So what is a merchant cash advance? This is how I started out in this business, 2018. A merchant cash advance is simply an alternative type of business financing that offers a lump sum of money based off of your future sales. This is not a loan, and it isn't calculated the same. So basically, if you're doing $100,000 a month and you need $80,000 for marketing or whatever you need it for in your business, I'm gonna look at your last 3 months, your last 4 months in business, and I'm gonna say, hey, you average about $100,000 a month. Based on that, I'm gonna advance you 70 to 80% max of what you've been doing in the last 8 months, and I'm going to give you a certain amount of time, and then you're going to give me you're going to pay me a factor rate. And so this is how a cash advance is calculated. A merchant cash advance is not a loan. There is no APR. It is a factor rate. For example, Mr. Business Owner is giving $100,000 advance at a 1.36 factor rate for 32 weeks. To calculate this, you're going to multiply the loan amount by the factor rate to get the total payback. So 100,000 times 1.36 factor rate, you get $136,000, and then you divide that by the weeks or days to get the weekly or daily payment, which in this example is $42.50. And I want to go into mindset for a little bit, because you can be sitting at your current position and you could be thinking, hey, this is high. This is too much. This is too much for them to pay. You can't put your own beliefs on somebody else. Also, actually, you can put your own beliefs on somebody else, and that's what you need to be careful of, because you have to believe that this is a service that somebody's going to need. Maybe not all your clients need this, but somebody needs this service. Wouldn't be successful. This industry wouldn't be successful if people didn't need it. And so you can't think, oh, this is too expensive. You can't bring your personal into business. You won't be able to sell anything. You won't be able to be successful if you think what you're doing is immoral. So you have to believe. You have to know that you're providing the service. They need $100,000 and I'm able to get it to them the same day. Nobody's able to do that. They need $100,000 and I'm able to get it to them tomorrow. Nobody's able to do that. And so, and it's unsecured. They don't need to, all they need to do is get me a 1-page application and the last 3 or 4 months bank statements. And I'm going to give them and there's going to be $100,000 wired into their account. And on a deal like this, if you make 10 points, it typically is 8 to 15 points. Most of the time it's 10 points. If you make 10 points, you make $10,000. Yeah. You fund $100,000 loan, you make $10,000. Average in this industry is about a $50,000 loan. But you make $5,000. How many $50,000 loans do you need to have a good life? Think about it. Or let's even go back. How many credit card stackings do you need to, how many $50,000 credit card stacking for a startup? You know how many people fail or don't go through with an idea that they have, a great idea that they have, because they don't have the startup money? Or how many businesses fail but just because of cash flow issues? They don't have a marketing budget, they don't have the right equipment they need. And for equipment, you should just get an equipment loan. But you get what I'm saying. Or they can't pay their payroll or whatever it is. Businesses need money to survive. What we do is we sell them money. So the biggest thing, one of the biggest things is just making sure your mindset is right. As long as you can worry about their money problems and supplying their needs and getting them money, you'll never have to worry about money again. As far as personally, how many clients do you need? How many $50,000 cash advances do you need to do? Or $100,000 cash advances do you need to do? Or $30,000 cash advances? You get what I'm saying. And if this didn't make sense to you, I'll give you another scenario. So let's go $500,000 cash advance. You have a business that's doing $1 million a year. $1 million a month. And there's plenty of them out there. A business that's doing $1 million a month. I had one that was doing $2 million a month. It was a lab. Excuse me. It was a lab doing $2 million a month. He hit me up 7 a.m. in the morning. Hey, Amir, I need 500,000 and I need it today. I said, okay, but so I can get you an offer this morning, but I need you to pay me an extra 3 points because, I need you to pay me 3%. I didn't say extra. I need you to pay me 3% of what I'm able to get you funded, because I'm going to only be working with you today, because I'm going to make sure that you can get this money today. And he gave it to me. And it worked out well because I only made 7 points from the lender. And so the extra 3 points that I got from him put me at 10 points, and I made $50,000 for that one day. And like I said, so let's say a company needs $500,000 and the factor rate is 136. All you do is multiply 500,000 times 1.36. They're going to pay back $680,000. That sounds like a lot of money in your head, but you have to understand they're used to dealing with these type of larger numbers. And yes, they'll have to pay this back. Usually it's within, months. These are short-term loans. So you're going to have daily and weekly payments. Sometimes you may have a bi-weekly payment. You rarely ever see a monthly payment. So yeah, because they want to get because it's unsecured, they want to start collecting their money back as soon as possible. And so the merchant cash advance started in the restaurant industry. It was brick and mortar. Restaurants, they get paid every single day. So if you have a restaurant that's making $2,000 a day, $3,000 a day, then you paying $90 a day is not a big deal. You paying $200 a day is not a big deal. And that's where what this industry was built on. It was built for, brick and mortar businesses. And then it expanded from there. So today I want to go over a cash advance. What is a cash advance and how much will it cost? So an unsecured cash advance is essentially your business, your company selling a percentage of the future sales for immediate cash. To apply, you need 3 months bank statements, a 1-page application. That's business bank statements as well. Above a 500 credit score is typically what you need. And consistent deposits is what everyone is looking for. And so because it's an advance and not a loan, it's run off a factor rate and not an interest rate. And so for a $100,000 advance, at a 1.37 factor rate, in this example, you're looking at $137,000 because that 100,000 advance is typically the one, and 37, the 0.37 is the factor, what you're paying back. Typically you're going to see rates between a 1.19 all the way up to, I hope you never get this far. I would advise you not to even take it unless you really, really need it and you know that you're going to make more money off of whatever money that you're paying. But yeah, give me a call. Here are some merchant cash advance lenders. You have Splash, you have Velocity, you have Accord, VitalCap, Pearl, CFG, Biddy. Biddy Advance is mostly for those smaller loans, those people that's making $5,000 and they need $2,000. I don't have a relationship with Biddy, but I put them up here because I know about them. And so, and I know maybe some of you'll run into those smaller deals. I like to focus on larger deals, but you need all deals to. One thing someone told me when I was in the car businesses is you have to look at this business like a jar. You need all of you need the rocks, you need the boulders, you need the sand, you need the pebbles, you need everything to fill up your jar, because if you only have the rocks and pebbles, then the jar is not full. Sometimes you need some sand. So those smaller deals will help fill up your jar. So, but I didn't listen. So, so SBA 7A loans. SBA loans are business loans partially guaranteed by the U.S. Small Business Administration and issued by participating lenders, usually banks. Here are a few banks that offer SBA loans. You have your TD banks, your Huntington, Chase, Berkshire, Byline, Bank of America, Celtic. All of that's public information. Just go ahead and tap in and look that up and see if you can create a relationship where you'll send them business. And then don't charge for SBA, you don't want to charge your client an exorbitant fee. You really want to do like 2 to 3 points on that, or maybe Chase or one of them will give you a point or so, and then you'll charge a success fee or something like that, just like 2 or 3 points. For the success fee, want access to the success fee, you want to go to the description and check that out. Invoice factoring is a form of alternative financing that involves selling your outstanding invoices to a third party, a factoring company, in exchange for cash. Like the example I gave you earlier, let's say you have a commercial construction company, and you guys have $100,000 in invoices every single month, and it's creating a cash flow problem for you because you have your guys out there that you have to pay, you have material and equipment that you got to get, and you're paying your guys late because you don't have the cash flow. You don't have, you're making the money and you're staying busy, but you don't have the cash flow because it's all in contracts. You're waiting to get done with the work, but you need money to get through the month. to pay your guys, make sure you're paying them on time. To scale your business, you need money. And so you come to us and we offer you an 80% advance on all of your invoices or contracts that you have outstanding, that you have out there. And so we're able to get you an advance for $80,000 because you have $100,000 in invoices. And so we advance you 80%, well, up to 80%. And you get your $80,000 and you're able to pay your guys on time. You're able to scale your business because now you know, hey, anytime I need some money, I can get an 80% advance on that money on my contracts. And so you're able to scale your business because now you know when money is coming in. Same thing with government contracts. You can factor government contracts. Or let's use the medical industry for an example, because I started out in the medical industry. When I first started out, I would go on Medicare.gov and I would put I think it was like click on find a physician or something like that, because you would just find one locally that accepts Medicare. And if they accept Medicare, because some are cash, some only accept cash. And if they accept Medicare, then I know there was like a 30 to 45 days that they had to wait until they got paid from the insurance company. And so that would create a cash flow problem. And I would say, hey, can I speak to the accounts receivable manager? Can I speak to the office manager? Because obviously if the doctor owned the clinic or family office, he wasn't going to be available. And I would just say, hey, right now I have programs in place where I can offer you guys up to $1 million in some working capital. Or have you guys, I recently helped a doctor not too far from here get some working capital in exchange for their receivables. I got them some receivable. I looked at their receivable and was able to get them in advance up to 80%. Would you guys at least take a look at the numbers? If I was able to get you an approval, would you guys at least take a look at the numbers? Yeah. And so, yeah, you it's basically an advance in exchange for their receivables or invoice or contract or whatever it is. And those are the industries that work for some manufacturing, commercial, construction, anything that's B2B or B2C. And so B2B, you may even look at what are those companies that like temp agencies and things like that, where they're working with other companies to find and get them employment. So there's a revolving line of credit, term loan / think of it as like a credit card. You can keep drawing from it and only pay what you use from these lines of credit. These lines of credit are only for the ones that I'm specifically talking about. They're for brick and mortar businesses like restaurants, cafe, doctor offices, etc. You can go up to 36-month terms and you get paid each time they draw from it. So yeah, if you guys want access to this company, it should be in the description as well. Just click on the link. And obviously I want to do deals with you guys. You're not learning from somebody who's in marketing, or you're not learning from somebody who isn't in the industry, who isn't actively doing deals. But because I'm giving you the game, I'm going to give you all my secret. Come to me and say, hey, I need hand holding. I need to be walked through a few deals. I am going to charge you. So, and that's why I told you in the beginning, like, hey, get some money for yourself. If you're not in position to where you have money right now, get some funding for yourself. Get you some business credit cards. Make sure you're straight. Make sure you have, low utilization. Make sure you have 100% on time payments, and go and get you some business credit cards. make sure you get you some funding first, because I am going to charge you. Because and then I'll in the future I'll potentially create a group. If you're watching this, just go into the description. I may already have the group up. But yeah, if you want access to my book, you can go check it out on Amazon. Or if I may have something in the description where you can buy it directly from me. Because I may eventually take it off of Amazon. I really was just I really only had it up there because I wanted to self-publish. And so it's called the Business Funding Blueprint: How to Get $150,000 in funding and business funding even as a startup. So yeah, and this was also like a play of like just being a authority figure in the space. That way I can use it to get clients. So it's another lead funnel, basically. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I am not a lawyer. This is for informational purposes only. If you need anything, go to my website, www.townslending.com, or email me info@townslending.com. Wait. Let's back up a little bit. I'm sorry. I don't do courses. I'm not really active on the internet. But I haven't showed you how you should go about the process with getting them funding. So for your client, what you want to do is, unless you have power of attorney, then what you want to do, and here's what I do, I just get online. I send them a Zoom link and I walk them through the process. And so basically what you want to do is, before anything, send them a link to, basically, for you to review their credit, just to make sure they're over that 720 mark, 680, but really you want them to be over 720, just so they have access to everything, access to all the funding that they could possibly get. They need to be over 720. And there's no reason for them not to be. Making sure that they don't have any derogatory marks, making sure that, obviously the lower their utilization is, the better. So if they're 15%, obviously if they were at 5, it'd be better, but you can still get them done. Making sure, seeing how much time they've had, that their average credit age is. That's important. Just pull their credit first, and that way they'll understand their approvals. And then hop on a Zoom call with them and walk them through the process. And you'll be able to, and first you'll have to get them to sign a non-circumvent. So the process is, get them to sign a non-circumvent. Letting them know as a non-circumvent and a success fee. The non-circumvent is basically saying, hey, don't fuck me out of this deal. If I'm going to be walking you through this, don't go through me to get the funding and not pay me. And the success fee is just basically like, if I'm able to get you funding, this is the percentage you're going to pay me, which is typically 10 to 15%. So let's say in this case it's 10%. If you get them $50,000 in funding, they get you they send you $5,000 out of that. And the good thing is, if you can set them up with some cards that offer like that 0%, plus they have like a 3% cash back or like things like that. Once they pay you, or it, like, let's say with Chase, they off, like, once you spend so much money, they get something back from it. then you're helping them understand, or you're helping them get discounts and things like that, and without giving them a discount. So you're helping them get additional points and things like that, which they can use for travel and things like that. But yeah, so you'll want to first get them to sign a non-circumvent success fee. Go to the description for that. The link for that will be up there. Then from there, you'll want to get them to pull their credit. You can go to the description for that as well. And then send you a PDF. You'll look through it, comb through it, see what that's like, and making sure that they have what it takes to get funding. From there, you'll go to you'll send them a link to do a Zoom call, and you'll walk them through funding. Honestly, if you can do a couple of these a month and then some cash advances, man, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money in this industry because you sell money. And you'll be putting people. There's people that don't know you don't know what you don't know. And so once you can provide them the information, it'll just blow their mind, and they'll be so appreciative that you won't have a problem with people sending you the money that they owe you. Especially when you're able to get them 0% cards instead of, like, if you have people that's used to getting a merging cash advance and paying 30-40% over a 6 to 10 month term and weekly payments, then if you can put them in a situation where they're getting 0% and they only have to pay you 10 points, that's crazy. Or let's say somebody that has good credit, but they don't know how, like, and they have they have a business plan. They want to start a business, but they don't know how to get started. You can tell them, hey, go to these people and go to Wyoming agents, set up your business here. Or you can do it for them and then make that a service. Like, hey, I'm going to set up your business. It's going to be set up in Wyoming. I'll help you set up everything. I'll help you get an EIN. I'll help you do this. I'll help you do that. And you can set that up as a service as well. You're going to get your funding through me. So pay me $1,000 up front or $1,500 up front. I'm going to set up the business for you. And then as far as your funding, you're going to pay me 10% on what I can get you funded on. I don't even do that. I just thought of that when I was talking to you guys. But I don't want to do that because I don't need the extra work. So yeah, that's another play. Just you want to walk them through the process of getting funded, and that's how I do it. I don't deal with power of attorneys or applying for people or anything like that. I just walk them through, and then you can even record. You can record the thing, because then that gives you content. Because you're gonna want to document the process, and you can break it up and have their reactions of, oh, hey, I just got approved for $30,000, or hey, and to save the text messages too. Hey, they approved me for $30,000, and that way you have case studies, you have social proof. Because if you're into social media, then you can post it, and just blur out their names. If you're not into social media, you should be. You should be. If you want that type of, depending on what your goal is. If you're fine making, $200,000-$300,000 a year, then you don't need that. You don't need to be on social media. But if you want more, you want to make $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month, then I would say you should leverage social media, document your process, document your client's process, and it'll help you get more clients. So yeah, just walk them through the process on Zoom, or if they're local, do it with them in person. That's powerful too. Take your MacBook or laptop, whatever you have, iPad, and apply with them in person, and just walk them through it. And that's why it's important to kind of have this in front of you, and until you know, like, hey, this place needs this place needs that. And it's also important to have those relationship managers. So if you have a relationship manager, then you basically just doing a handoff, like, hey, here's the application, here's his personal application, the link to his DocuSign, and they'll walk, and then the relationship manager, they'll hop on the phone with them for 10-20 minutes and then ask them a few questions and then go from there. And they want to fund them. They want to give them funding. They don't want a reason not to give them funding when it comes to these business credit cards. So yeah, just keep that in mind. They want to give them funding. All right. So all right, let's go to the next section. Go get you some water first. Grab you a snack. I know it's been an hour. So yeah, go get you some snacks first and come back. Let's get back into it.